Have you ever wondered what the most popular Christian romance books are? Yeah, so have I. And honestly, I don't know. I hear about a lot of them, but it's kind of harder to gauge. So, I went on a little bit of an experiment and I tried to do a whole bunch of research and I picked out some books that I thought was the most popular Christian romance books. Now, there's by far one that is the most popular, and it's this chunker right here, Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. So, yeah, I'm going to try to tackle this one and not kill myself with it. We'll see how it goes. I hope you guys stay and follow along and see what other two books I picked for this video, along with this one. Okay, so I stopped at chapter 9. That's how far I am into it. My dear goodness, Francine Rivers sure knows how to start out a book with some trauma and some very gripping backstory. That's for sure. Honestly, after that and after the first chapter, it was really heavy, and I was feeling like I might have to pause this. But then chapter 2 came and Michael came into play, and oh my goodness, just God laying on him that this was his wife. I don't know, just the way it was done. It was just very beautiful. And I was hooked, and I was like, okay, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not normally the type of reader who needs a second to slow down because something's super heavy or whatnot. I just don't normally need to take breaks from books due to heaviness. But I did feel a little bit that way at first. Again, there has been a lot of awful stuff. Dear goodness, if y'all want to know content and trigger warnings, I'll have them down below. Fair warning, there is a lot in this. Not saying that I wouldn't recommend it, but only 9 chapters in, so really enjoying it. I do have some thoughts. There are some things that I'm not quite sure how I feel about that, and I'm still kind of pondering over, but so far I'm liking it. And I'm only 120-ish pages in, and we're already kind of 2 apart, and I'm a lot more of this book is going to be in a different section and setting than I thought, because things kind of got on the ball rolling quicker. So I'm very, very interested and very intrigued. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's how far I am. I am enjoying it though so far. Nothing's been too much for me so far. Alright guys, a little reading update here. I'm quite far into this, and this is a beautiful, beautiful book. Oh my goodness, it's got me to cry. It got me to cry. It was only one little tear, but it got me to cry. I totally understand this book is heavy. It's got a lot of hard subjects and stuff that it talks about, but it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful, and boy, it's been making me miss my husband. There's a lot of similarities in some of my story and my husband's story, of just whether it be the things that I thought or said or done. Obviously nowhere near the extent of what this book is, but just gosh, it is showing God's redeeming love of God Our Father so well, and I am loving it. And yes, if this video is to find out, you know, should this really be the most popular? Like, this is not what I would think of instantly for romance, because, you know, my mind goes to rom-com stuff that makes you like feel good and are light and fluffy, and this is definitely not feel good, light and fluffy, but it is so good, and it is like, it's got me in all the feels. And yeah, I'm pretty far into it, and I don't want to put it down. So all right, guys, so I finished Redeeming Love last night. Did I talk to you last night? No. Okay. I was crying. It was late. I needed to collect my thoughts, okay? I loved this book. Kind of controversial, I know. A lot of people don't. I loved it. I loved it, okay? I'm going to say this, and I'm going to put this little bit of a disclaimer. I can understand if you can't read it. I may not say, like, I might say I'd love to recommend it to everybody, but I totally understand if you've got certain content, you know, and trigger warnings, stuff like that, that you don't want to read it. Let me just say this. I'm not that kind of reader. I like hard stuff. I like heavy stuff. That is real life to me. And I feel as if I couldn't pick, I personally, and this isn't other people at all. I'm not trying to say if you don't think this way, you know, don't misread me. But I don't know how I could read the Bible with all the hard stuff in it if I can't read or like hear about somebody's true story. And obviously this is a retelling of a book of the Bible. So like for me, it's just like, how can I come and help somebody who's had such a tragic story, had such a tragic past, if I can't handle hearing about those things? If I can't, like, I don't want to desensitize myself, which is why I definitely think that you should take breaks and you should have lighter stuff. But I don't want to be unaware, and I don't want to be so closed in and be like, I can't handle it. I can't handle it. No. This had a lot of stuff, honestly, that hit home for me and was very personal to my story with sexual abuse and sins in my past. And God has redeemed me and washed me clean, guys. And this was beautifully done. And it really hit a lot of points of my own story that I felt with the whole redeeming love aspect. And I think that it could definitely help so many people in that way. Does she tiptoe on the line a lot in this book compared to other books, and especially with some sexual things? Yes, she does. Me personally, some of the things that she tiptoed on the line with, especially within like the marriage between Angel and Michael, it kind of, you know, like there were a lot of similarities to my own marriage and stuff that me and my husband had gone through in ways that I was just thinking of my husband. And it was a beautiful book, and it gave me a lot of reflection. It gave me a lot of thankfulness and thanksgiving to the Lord throughout this. It gave healing in a way, even though I've already healed. You know, like I feel like you can think that you're healed from something, but the Lord can always put more balm on you and make you feel renewed. And I loved that. And I loved that that book gave me that feeling. Honestly, guys, this is a hard book. This has a lot of content. I'll put it all in the description box. Would I still recommend it? 100%. 100%. If you want to read a hard but beautiful book, 100%. Is there some hard stuff in here that was hard for me? Yeah, especially since I've been through sexual abuse. And not even to near the extent as this woman. Obviously, she was sold into prostitution. But beautifully done, in my opinion. And it is an all around 5 stars. Kay over at Kay's Library has encouraged me to try to like refine my rating system, because I feel like it's really hard for me, and sometimes I don't know how a book fits, because I try to be kind of objective and subjective at the same time. So she's been doing like a rating system, and she can like that encouraged me to kind of figure out, how do I want to rate books objectively while still giving some of my subjectiveness into it. So I am like fine tuning a rating system. I think I'm liking it pretty well. Even with the content and everything, which I can lower ratings a little bit with, it still made 5 stars, guys. So I know that not everybody's going to like me for this, but, and normally I'm kind of, I would be on the bandwagon with not liking it, but no, this was beautiful. This was hands down beautiful, beautiful. And I did want to read a quote. I wrote down where it was. Hold on. And it says, love cleanses, beloved. It doesn't beat you down, and it doesn't cast blame. My love isn't a weapon, it's a lifeline. Reach out and take hold and don't let go. There's just some beautiful stuff here. Also, oh my God. Okay, so spoiler warning, I guess, if you don't want to know things. But there is a part where God is kind of coming to our angel, our main female character, and she is seeing this, and he's taking away all of the filth and the shame and everything that she has on her from this life that she has led. And she says, I'm dead, I'm filthy. And he says, that you may live. She looked up again and saw the man of light covered with her filth. No, she wept. Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll take it back. I'll do anything. Yet even as she reached out, the defilement disappeared, and he stood before her perfect again. That really hit me hard because those of us who know shame and guilt in certain ways, that has definitely been something that I have been guilty of, looking and saying, oh no, I'm so sorry. Like, that is disgusting and I'm so sorry. And then there he is. No, he makes everything clean. And that was a beautiful image for me. And I really, really loved that. So I think that's all I'm going to share there. I've been rambling. We are going to pick up the next book of this vlog, though, even though I realized this could have just been a one book vlog. We're going to keep going because I picked out more books. The next book is also by a very, very popular Christian author. I don't know if it's her most popular book, but it's one that was a standalone and was made into a movie. So we're going to be reading Someone Like You by Karen Kingsbury. Is she worth the hype? Is she, a good Christian romance? We're going to figure out and see how it goes. Okay, so I started Someone Like You, and I thought I should kind of like give y'all a little bit of an update and tell you a little bit of what it's about. I believe this is in the Baxter series, but I think it's a standalone within the Baxter series. This is following an architect named Dawson Gage and a recent graduate of college, Andy Allen. Although I think, because I got this one and at the beginning it said that some names were changed, so I think Andy's name was different in the original. I have a feeling it was like Maddie or something. I'm not sure. But so we're following like those two kind of. Something happens. It kind of says this on the back, which I wish they wouldn't tell you as much on the back, but I'm not going to say what. Something happens that compels their meeting, basically, but it is centered around the fact of two embryos being separated and basically born by different parents, and so it's a twin sisters that are separated. So I have opinions about the whole embryo IVF stuff, so I'm interested nonetheless to see how much I'm gonna like this, or if it's gonna toe on any lines here, or if it's just gonna like use that as the basis of how they were separated, if that makes sense. So we'll see. I will update you. I will say, going from Francine Rivers to a Karen Kingsbury, not my favorite. I can kind of like feel the difference in the writing style and stuff. Definitely Francine, I feel like, has a lot more talent in her writing capabilities, and the style, her prose and stuff are a lot better, I feel like. But not disliking it entirely, just not nearly as engaged or invested or enjoying it quite as much as I enjoyed the last one. So we'll keep reading and we will see. I'll be honest with you, I don't know. This one is a very short one, so I might just be checking back with you guys after I finish it. We'll see. Hi guys, so I wanted to just chat for a second and tell you that I finished Someone Like You by Karen Kingsbury. I did not like it very much at all. I didn't like hate it or anything, but I didn't really like it very much or love it. It was such a weird storyline, such a weird storyline. I'll probably come back and chit chat about that a little bit more on the why, but I did start Of Love and Treason last night, so I just wanted to update to make sure that I actually updated. Hopefully I will share more of my thoughts with you later on it. But yeah, it was really weird. It was a whole like guy falling in love with the girl he's been in love with, twin sister type of thing, but saying that, oh, it's not because she looks like or acts like or whatever's like, but all that we got out of them was like, I felt electricity and stuff. And I was like, well, where's any of the deeper connection? And oh my gosh, there was so much like setup for it, and then the second half was just rushing through everything, so everything fell flat. The family reconciliation, the big plot point, the romance, it all fell flat. It was just so poorly plotted out. Like I do not recommend it, and I can't imagine that the movie's any better, but yeah, not one of the better ones by Karen Kingsbury. I've only read 2 others by her, but both of them were better than this one, so. Hi guys, so I wanted to give you a little bit of an update. I did start Of Love and Treason. It's downstairs, and I got like halfway through exactly last night, so we're doing like good on that. For those of you who don't know what it's about, it's actually like St. Valentine's story. So it's kind of like a historical but like ancient fiction, I guess, and it does have like some romance in it. Obviously St. Valentine is like well known for marrying people when there was like a marriage ban and everything, because he didn't think that the emperor or whatnot could take that right away. Like only God gave the right for man and woman to come together in marriage, that type of thing. So he married people. So there's obviously like that kind of romantic subplot, but it does seem like there's another romantic subplot in it. That though is very much like secondary and subplot. Like this is very heavy on the historical aspect in the Christian persecution. I honestly, talking to my husband about it, told him that I feel like he would probably like it a lot because of how heavy and prevalent the faith themes are and how big the Christian persecution is. He likes and is interested in that type of stuff too, so it's very just like
early church history type of thing in a historical fiction setting. So I'm enjoying it. We're also following another character named Iris who was blinded, and her father is a head jailer, I think. So we're following her too, and kind of her story along with the Valentine, his like story and stuff. So I'm very much enjoying it, and I'm excited to keep going, and I will probably just update you guys with my final thoughts at the end at this point, because I need to get through it and read more. So
Okay, guys, so I finished Of Love and Treason. My heart is ripped out a little bit right now. I think we all know how St. Valentine's story ends, but quite gruesome. I loved this though. It was so well written, very well researched, it seemed to me. Like there was so much in this that honestly, like, yes, it's categorized as like historical romance. It follows St. Valentine. There's a lot of like romantic elements and stuff, but the prevalent overarching theme and plot line really seemed like just the historical aspect, this ancient Rome setting and the persecution of Christians in general, which I really, really loved. I honestly really loved it. And I feel like because of that, if a man, boyfriend, husband, whatever, is interested, or if you want him to read, say, a romance or something, if he's interested in like church history, early church type of thing, ancient Rome, I feel like this would be one that men could also enjoy because of how heavy that was in the story. The faith elements was off the charts. Like, oh my goodness, did I love it so much. That being said, I did give this one a 5 stars also. I don't know what's happening to me this year, but I'm happy about it. Like I love it. I love it so much. I am up to 4 5 stars this year, not including my rereads. And for those of you who may not have been around for very long, the last 2 years I've only had like 5 5 stars each year. So this is exciting for me. I hope this momentum keeps going. But yes, I even used my rating scale. It made 5 stars. I used the help of K's a little bit, made 5 stars. I'm trying to, I'm trying to get mine and see if I like it. And I'm kind of using K's because hers is so much more refined, kind of as like a soundboard of like, is it working right? And so far, it's been like working pretty well. So I think there's not too much more like fine tuning I need to do on mine, thankfully. But yes, I really really adored this one. Highly recommend. But there is a lot of it's a heavy book. It's a heavier book. Than some may expect, even with being the St. Valentine story. There is definitely some content and stuff in this. Nothing that overly, bothered or took points off for me. The only thing I would say is that there were some slightly slower parts in the story where I just like wanted it to go. But besides that, like besides the pacing just being a little bit slow at like just a couple of times. Such a great book. Such a great book. 5 stars. I also wanted to read something to you guys because quotes. I love me quotes. Okay, so this is when Valentine is marrying a couple, and he says, before this crowd of witnesses and an even greater cloud of witnesses above, do you join yourself to Livia, the girl's name, until death parts you. To love her and protect her, to deny yourself in preference of her, to love her as gently as God loved us, enough to give himself up to death as a ransom. And then to the woman, he says, before this crowd of witnesses, an even greater cloud of witnesses above, do you join yourself to Pharaoh until death parts you, to honor him, to respect him, to deny yourself in preference to him, to love him, follow him as we all ought to love and follow Christ our God. And I love those so much more than what we do. And I feel like as Christians, that, like, especially with what the Bible says, that goes along with really what we're pledging and, being a married woman so much more than just some of the more simplistic that they do nowadays. So, yeah, I totally was not like telling my husband about this and being like, can you say that when, and, the day comes that you might marry someone after becoming a pastor, can you change it to this, please? Because I'm obsessed with this for some reason. It's just so beautiful. Also, this is literally like a couple pages later, and I love this part. He said, I believe in love as God intended it to be, a man and woman bound together until death parts them, to love, serve, and honor each other, becoming a picture of Christ in his love for all of us, loyal, steady, and consuming. Just, it was so good. It was so good. I loved it so much. I'm also going to say Cece was reading this at the same time as me. And I think she was also doing it for a video. So go check out Cece's channel and give some love to her video. We both really enjoyed this. And so we ended up unintentionally like buddy reading towards the end there and talking over it. And I really, really enjoyed talking over it with her. And I don't remember if I mentioned this or not, but Someone Like You by Karen Kingsbury, I also unintentionally kind of buddy read at the end with Sammy. So even though I didn't like that one, it was very nice to be able to like talk over some of the things and know that it wasn't just me who thought some things were weird. So what fun to like unintentionally buddy read with people. I love when that happens. I was saying that I wish that I had made like that a goal because I was like, I've hardly done any buddy reads. I need a buddy read more. And then I've like unintentionally buddy read with so many people this year. And it's so much fun. It's so much fun. So anyway, we finished all of our books, guys. We finished these 3 books and 2 of them were kind of chunkers and one was not. And I loved 2 of the 3. So most popular Christian romance. Yes, it is 100% worth it. Not worth it, in my opinion. Karen Kingsbury has better, but I do not think that she's as great as an author as some people think. I just don't think the hype for her is quite as well deserved as others. She's okay. This book was not one of the better ones. And then the most popular, by far, of course, Miss Francine Rivers. Absolutely 100%. I understand why it's the most popular and highly, highly recommend. Stop waiting on it and thinking, oh, no. Yeah, just, yes, 100%. 100%. So I feel like that's decently good. Can you trust the most popular charts and stuff? So sometimes you can, and sometimes there are still duds within that. So that's kind of life for you. So thank you so much for joining along. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know, have you read these books? Do you want to read these books now or not really? I don't know. I hope this has been helpful and fun, and I hope you guys have read some great books for Valentine. I hope you guys will stick around and click that like button, hit the subscribe button so that you can keep seeing more videos. If you liked this one, there's tons more rambly rants and word twisters, silly faces to come if you're interested. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.